Well, here we are, June 6th to June 13th. And if you're anything like me, this year has gone by at bullet speed. This is literally the half year point for the year. And it's quaking. I think it's earthquaking in how much things have changed and how much things are still changing. And what's really important, especially in this energy for this coming week, is that we acknowledge all that we've been through. And this isn't just because of quarantine, but certainly it does include that. But this is a great time for reflection of just how much we've worked, how much we've earned, and how much we really do deserve to take a break, to just really allow ourselves to live in what we have created, and in doing so show gratitude and recognition for our own accomplishments. This is the week, especially this week. This is the week to do it, because it's going to show the universe a great leap of faith that it's got your back. You're not going to lose anything that you've gained by taking time, not even necessarily time off, guys, but time to just not push yourself further. Pushing right now in this energy is a huge sign of lack of faith and fear, because it's almost like saying, I have to keep going or I'm going to lose it. And that's fear driven. And it's really not true. And it's not about sitting back on your laurels, but it is about don't add anything new to your schedule. It is about enjoying a little bit more freedom. Thinking, yes, how am I going to move forward? Like, which direction do I want to move forward? But not laying anything into stone right now, because this is really sort of like the trial and error period, more the consideration period. Thinking about what feels comfortable, what doesn't. Our feelings are on point right now, not our desires. They're not the same things, but our feelings, our intuition, our instinct, our psyche is really strong, and it will not lead you astray, but you have to give it a chance to be listened to. So even if it doesn't make sense, I want you to believe those feelings of comfort or discomfort, of this feels right or this doesn't feel right. Even if it doesn't make sense, I want you to trust those feelings, because it makes more sense than this right now. There's a lot of confusion in our brain right now. And it is important to sort of sift through it, but that's another reason to not push, because you know what? We don't have all the answers, and the answers have to come to us, which means we have to be patient and allow those answers to come to us. Just a second. Let me take a second and say, guys, this is your weekly astrology forecast from Born Without Boundaries. And I'm really grateful for you tuning in to Astrology Motivation to watch the weekly astrology forecast. The weekly zodiac specific readings come out on my main channel, Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I hope that you'll subscribe here and subscribe over at Born Without Boundaries Tarot and Born Without Boundaries on Vimeo, which is where you can get your weekly extended, almost personal readings and your romance readings. So there's so much great content coming out. Join me on Instagram, born_without_boundaries. I think that runs along this. You could see it, this lower corner here, as well as you could check out my website if you have any further questions. All the information is there at bornwithoutboundariestarot.com. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook, Born Without Boundaries. It's just, it's easy to find me. I try to make it as easy as possible, and I always appreciate your feedback. The wonderful thing about joining me on Instagram is that I go live Monday through Friday, and so we can actually enjoy each other's company live then. That's really cool. If you're interested in a personal reading, please head on over to my website at bornwithoutboundariestarot.com. You can book, you can schedule, you can review the products that I offer, review the services that I offer, schedule, book, and pay, all right there. It's a one-stop shop. The site makes it really easy for you. So if that's what you're interested in, awesome. And if you're interested in donating to the channel, I always say, go and purchase an extended. It's inexpensive and it contributes in a way that you get something that's really quality, as well as donating to the channel. And it's just fantastic exchange. Let's get into the full day-by-day, play-by-play, complete with your mantras. I will say, can I say this to you? Just let me take a second to say, this is not a week to be scared of. This is actually a week that's going to be very beautiful. It's very cleansing, it's very purifying, and it's actually very beautiful for romance relationships. And as much as I tried to stay away from it, I can't not share this with you. This is when people from your past will return. In my predictions, I don't see it being first. Well, yes, in the beginning of the week, exes will return. And things will get a little crazy and things will get a little difficult and mistakes will be made to reteach us or remind us why the ex was the ex. But then toward the end of the week, this beautiful thing happens where love really clears up and we're reminded, and it becomes very clear really what we want and what's good for us. And we have these opportunities that we may have missed. They're not from exes, but they would be from people that you had known, but for some reason you were both in relationships at the time. Somebody was married and then wasn't available, or somebody was overseas, couldn't be. Like, this is when those incidences of two ships passing in the night come back, and the ships meet and can finally consider each other. So there's just this beautiful sense of sensuality and open-heartedness, especially toward the end of the week, that I think is really, really lovely. And I think a lot of us are going to be pleasantly surprised with the gentleness of this Mercury retrograde and the way the universe is using it to deliver what was right, but what was passed over. So that we don't pass over it again. Let's get into the reading. You guys know that I plan this ahead of time because I have to. And I'll read to you, but I'll also interject my thoughts. The summary for the week is simple. This week is the battle between the old and the new in a very emotional way. We are ready to move forward. Are we ready to move forward, or are we happy with what we have? This week will help us to understand the progress we really need and the motion we feel obligated to generate. Two very separate things. And we feel obligated to generate that motion. Why? Fear. Fear that if we don't keep generating that motion, then everything will stop. It's almost like, and I said this on my daily today on Friday, as I record this, it's Friday night. I said this on my daily today. It's like, remember that game you used to play when you were a kid in a swimming pool, and you used to go around and around and around to try to create a current? It's almost like you're afraid that if you don't keep going around and around, the current will stop. And what the energy of this week really wants you to do is stop generating the current and let yourself enjoy the flow that you've already created. But there's a fear that if you don't keep going, everything will fall apart and just stop, and you'll lose all the momentum you gained. And that is not the truth. It's just a fear, and it should show you where you feel inadequate. And you should start asking yourself, well, why? And what can I do about it? What does your heart want? Because even though we're ready to move forward and we may not have the right opportunity yet, how will we know? You will know. You will know. Our psychic ability is intense this week, and the right choice will be obvious even when the wrong choice makes so much sense. The truth is, we are still learning what is right for us and would have to push against Mercury retrograde to force a decision right now. And that wouldn't be a good thing. Your feelings, different from your desires, are intense now, and they won't lie to you. Trust them. All week, Jupiter is trine Venus and Neptune is trine Mars, making us romantic and optimistic in love and with money. If used correctly to understand ourselves better and learn what is right for us, this is beautiful energy. Deciding that we already know what we need and allowing ourselves to dive in head first would not be a good idea. The compulsion to rush or feel rushed is dominant this week, so it's important to find tools to help you calm yourself and love yourself enough to give yourself the gift of patience. This is a great week to recognize how far you've come and give yourself credit and a bit of a break to enjoy what you've created. It's the most beautiful leap of faith to allow yourself a break, knowing that what you've created won't disappear just because you rested for a while. And people and opportunities from the past will reemerge this week to teach us what really matters in love. Opportunities that we missed but were for us. So they were supposed to be for us, but something got messed up in the works, like two ships passing in the night. We're going to get a second chance, because it's not even like, it's like the universe wants us together. We're supposed to meet these people or have these opportunities. And in a lot of ways, it's like now the universe gets that it dropped the ball in some way, and it's helping us out, especially in love. So be ready for a lovely and affectionate end of the week. So we will move on to Sunday, June 6th. Today is a day, just so you guys know, the beginning of the week is a lot rougher than the end of the week. Today is a day of delusional grandeur where many of us will have exceptional sounding reasons to support decisions that really come from impulsivity and illusion. Be careful what you decide today. Allow the dreaded Mercury Retrograde to work its wonder and make you slow down long enough to really think things through. It will be difficult because Neptune is playing on Mars and Jupiter on Venus, making us too confident in our sensibilities. The moon's conjunction with Uranus is urging us to act quickly or make sudden changes based on primal urges. It's like the entire planet will be drunk and making really bad decisions. However, much like when you're drunk, the truth will come out because you're not quick enough to stop it from falling out of your mouth. So this could be a very volatile day for relationships, with all that stuff you tried to hide or find the right time to talk about will come spilling out, or worse. You make decisions based on half understood information and things go poorly because of it. Today is a day to allow yourself to be honest with your deepest truths to yourself so that you have time to review it, right? See what it is you want to change and observe what is making you angry, and don't fight it or try to talk yourself out of what you're experiencing. Write it all down. This is a really good idea right now. Tell it to a journal, and then in a month, review it to see a laundry list of your own prejudices. Seriously, this is when your fears and insecurities disguise as intellect and sneak their way into conversations where they really could mess things up. All these impulses are based on the past. What made you uncomfortable because what made you comfortable because it's familiar. It doesn't mean it's good for you. And with Mercury in retrograde, we can become over idealistic about the way things were. So that's things to watch out for this coming Sunday. Mantra: I honor my past, thank it, and release it. My future is unclear. I allow it to unfold. My mind is clear so I can recognize this moment. This moment is real. This moment is everything. My worries dissolve into awareness of the present moment. I really can't understate the present moment. The power of now is exceptional. If you can find a way to continue to live in the current moment, you're going to be very, very happy in this energy. Monday, June 7th. Oh boy. Expect a call from your ex, or more accurately, expect to call your ex. We want love and connection and progress so badly now that we're allowing our mind to be tricked. into thinking the past was good just because it's easier and familiar. It's not really easier. It's just easier to talk to because we know what to expect from it and don't have to process new information. This is not the best time to make decisions in love because they could be based on fantasy and idealistic thinking. What's clear is that Saturn is very happy with himself, playing on the sun in the North Node, keeping our progress in check. This wouldn't be a bad thing if Neptune weren't encouraging us to over-romanticize things and be drawn into drama right now, or drawn to drama right now. In other words, our standards could be severely compromised at this time. Committing long-term to things that were not meant to last. Remember, Mercury is in retrograde. It isn't likely that anything you start now will have an excellent future. It may have a future, but there will always be difficulties and irritations that arise with it. In other words, you could be sucked into something you ultimately feel stuck with. And considering Mars and Venus are in Cancer, the sign of codependency, you could be stuck with it for a very long time. So please take time to review your feelings. Enjoy the moment. But hold off on any long-term commitments or statements like, I love you, because you probably really don't. You're just under the influence of a very seductive dream. It's better to let these impulses play out through binge-watching reruns of Ross and Rachel on Friends. Don't make any promises now because ultimately you'll be sorry you have to keep them. That's Monday. It's a big old red flag day. Mantra, I allow my feelings. I allow my thoughts. I allow them to exist in this moment and pass, released into the universe. I am here. I am now. Breathe. Meditation is recommended, about a minute of focus on your breath. You don't have to meditate for hours. Very few of us are actual monks that can do that. But just a minute a day can help you ground yourself in the present. And that's really important and a very useful tool that I recommend, especially on Monday. Tuesday, June 8th rolls around with the moon now in Gemini, desiring freedom above all else, trine to Pluto, intensifying our emotional intelligence. You will be able to say all that you needed to say and have the courage to do it. So go ahead and get things off your chest, but be willing to listen to the other side because they will need the same thing. And I think a lot of us forget the other side. A lot of us just think about, we're kind of a little bit self-centered in how we think about the astrology. Like we're the only one feeling this way. Like we're the only one feeling things that are crazy. I just had a discussion tonight with my close friend and she was like, holy crap, Mercury retrograde. Everybody's feeling this, guys. And so even though you may need to get something off your chest, well, they're going to need to get something off their chest. And you know what? Gemini is one of the major signs of communication. It's Gemini and Virgo because they're ruled by Mercury. But Mercury is currently in Gemini right now in retrograde, making it extremely important to listen before you speak. Listening is almost more important right now. Chiron, check, stop. Bang, 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 bang. Big old red flag. Chiron is square to Venus, compromising our standards in love and money. So please think twice before making big decisions. We could feel backed against the wall today, like we'll never get another chance, despite the fact that we know this isn't the chance we want. You will get your heart's desire if you listen to your heart. Don't be conditioned by your fears. Thought, what? The temptation to feel rushed. The temptation to feel rushed is strong. And you can use this energy to help you realize what really matters to you. In the flurry in the flurry of hurry, I don't know why I said that, but that's what I wrote. In the flurry of hurry, the thought that calms you, that makes more sense. The thought that calms you will be what your heart is calling you towards. Okay, that's the big old clue. in this feeling rushed flurry to hurry, rushed crazy energy, the thought that makes you feel calm in the midst of the craziness is where your heart really is. And that's a great way to find it. Find where, if you're having trouble, it's the thought that makes you feel calm and peaceful and safe in the midst of all the tension. That is where your heart is and what you should focus on. You may not see it in front of you now, and that will frustrate you. And in the worst case scenario, make you feel desperate and unworthy. Remind yourself that you deserve the gift of patience and that you are quality, not some patch job. Good things are built slowly. And Saturn, trine the Sun and North Node remind us of that. You're not really being held back. You're being conditioned for quality. And there are so many beautiful things currently happening in your life. Focus on those. If you can't find them, well, then you know it's your mindset and perspective that has to change. If you look around and see nothing but misery now, look in the mirror and understand this is your new beginning. This is the time when the little things that give you joy will stand out like lighthouses in a dark storm. Write them down, remember them, and most importantly, direct your ship in their direction. How beautiful is that? Once again, taking out the notebook, maybe even keep a little pad with you right now and write down what makes you feel calm. What is that beacon light in the storm of this craziness? It's so important to take note of that because that's your heart space. Mantra: I am worthy of my own patience. I am quality and truth. I have time. I have life. I am free. Wednesday, June 9th rolls around. Return of the ex today. Not so much by your exes themselves, though that could be, but by your past relationships and the issues you had with them or had in them. Different things might make you think of them or shed light on them, making you think of them to understand them better. Still, your standards in romance are severely compromised. You may find yourself entertaining a person like your ex to subconsciously work out issues from the past. Be aware of this and try to stay away from it. An ex is an ex for a reason. And today you need reminding of that reason. However, it's fair to say these encounters should bring up feelings that are unresolved and need attention. Using this energy to understand yourself better and to understand why you made those choices is essential. Conversations will bring you close to the edge today, sucking you back into old drama. Be wary of idealisms today as they will play on your tendency to see the past as better than it really was. Uranus has grown painfully quiet in its aspects, except the important square to Saturn. In the battle between new and old, the old wins out today in terms of what has our attention. There is no better way to understand why we're blessed than to remind us of the past and how far we've come. So that's another tool to pause and see how far you've come. And be grateful to yourself for bringing you here. You will not lose ground. You need this moment of gratitude. And that's a part of being present in the present, is realizing, wow, I am in a place that's different than all that other crap. And I don't ever have to go back. There is no better way, hold on. In the battle, that was a weird sound. There is no better way to understand why we're blessed than to remind us of the past and how far we've come. Using this day as if you were an objective observer in your life would be the best, though it will be challenging. Saturn is trine both the sun and moon, providing us with some stability, helping our minds and hearts to prefer long-term benefits instead of quickies. So we should be able to make the right choices after all. Mantra: I am unconditional love. All is possible. I forgive my past by loving it for all it has taught me. Thursday, June 10th rolls around. Aha, now we get it. And we're able to understand what we once could not. Revisiting old relationships helps us understand why they ended and make peace with that. If an ex comes back today, it's easy to understand why they should stay an ex. This could give you some closure, which is great. It also makes you keenly aware of what you really want now, which means you're also keenly aware that you are different now, and that this moment is very special because it's not a replay of the past. It's something unique in its own right, and treasure it and pay more attention to it because it's so unique. That you've changed along with your taste in people. It's been easy now to get caught up. It's been easy to get caught up in nostalgia, but today is when we feel unsatisfied with it. This revisit makes us ready to move forward, eager even. We really have been trying to move forward, but our past was in our way. We have to finish things before we move on, right? So we may not have realized it until now, but this is really all part of laying a solid foundation for our future, especially where relationships are concerned. Finances may rear up as well, bills that seem to never go away. Today is when we are faced with doing what we've always done or making arrangements to build out our future. Open a savings account just for your new home down payment, right? Start saving. Research refining options. It's still not a time to sign any contracts, but looking into this kind of stuff is laying the foundation for excellent decisions when you're ready. If I were to place bets, today is the first day we will feel any release and official sense of room for the new. Jupiter may help with this information now, but through the dreams of Neptune. So Jupiter is making us optimistic, but Neptune is working on our psyche. So all this information that's helping illuminate you and make you realize things could be coming through your dreams. So it's important to pay attention to them and write them down. Our psyche is on point today, so please trust it. Also, an increased level of faith returns to help us along. The mantra today, I am now. I am here. I am unconditional love. What was is over. What is yet to be will come. But right now is where I want to be. Friday, June 11th rolls around. The moon moves into Cancer to visit Venus because Mars has moved to Leo. And this is a really good news because Mars is so much stronger in Leo. And finally, Mars and Venus are in different signs, which is much better. A much better place for it, as in Mars. Much better. Mars and Leo is a much better place for it. Accept some progress now. Breakthroughs of the heart. It's a great day to fall in love. Lots of feels today. Romance is in the air. Thank God. Yesterday happened and the beginning of the week happened, or we might be tempted to romance the wrong people. See? It's like clearing out the garbage to make room for the party. But the moon and Venus are providing an especially lovely connection, making us feel extra sensual and secure in our sensuality. This is a great date night. And being that this is happening in Cancer, that could be a stay-at-home date night. Yummy! And Mars in Leo makes us focus and our momentum on point. We won't settle for less now. Pluto is causing resistance now, but in a way that may make us even more particular about our direction. We want what we want, especially with Saturn's position to Venus. We're willing to take things slow or begin something that could last a lifetime. And we're not willing to compromise our standards anymore. The one caveat could be that we're tongue-tied, meaning conversations could be awkward, but intuition is on point. So trust the nonverbal communications today, right? The gesticulations, the gestures in the body. the pheromones, like trust it. It's not just instinct. It's not magic. Your body has been conditioned for hundreds of thousands of years to pick up on people's heat signatures, people's pheromones. And I mean, all of this is like nonverbal communication, but it is very real and very measurable. So trust it. The one issue is the compromised position of our sun because of Neptune. We could lose vitality now or not feel like we know our direction. I hope for most of us, that's what I'm saying. I hope for most of us that this just means we prefer a Netflix and chill night over a whitewater rafting date. But we are vulnerable and easily led right now. This could also be a lovely thing as we are open to mingling with a new person. Just make sure it's a new person. Venus is sextile Uranus, meaning she is forward focused. This is a good energy for choosing a new partner. Honestly, a lovely day to fall in love. Expect to feel easy in social situations and be open to new ways of being treated. Your standards are elevating. I love it, right? Mantra, I am unconditional love. I am centered and love is everywhere. I love it. And then Saturday, June 12th rolls around. Oh, the morning after. And self-doubt can get you right now because Neptune is still riding the sun and compromising your security with yourself. Intense issues with wanting to move faster to emotionally stabilize yourself. Stop. Breathe. It's going to seem like God is denying you everything because it hasn't fallen perfectly into your lap. We know what we want so much right now that we need it right now. That's how we feel. More of this beautiful awareness from Saturn and Venus will help with discernment and an unwillingness to compromise. It also speaks to taking time to lay a lasting foundation. Our standards may be compromised just enough now to make us reconsider our standards. Now that's really important because there's a sense of, wait, do my standards really work for me? I'm pushing so hard to keep the old standards. Maybe I have new ones. What standards really work for me based on all that I know now? That's an important thought process today. What else is out there beyond what we already knew we wanted? We're open. This is a beautiful time for creativity and inspiration because both Venus and Mars are getting help from Saturn and Jupiter respectively. So our integrity stays in place and so does our self-control. This is beautiful energy for starting new relationships, even with Mercury in retrograde. Not just romantic relationships. Jupiter is shining his optimism on how we go about everything now. Expect honesty and courage to be prominent in how we do things, with Neptune square the sun keeping us just off kilter enough to be humble. It's not that exes aren't still creeping out of the closet. They just don't scare you anymore. You're so over it. You're forgiving indiscretions and moving on. Mantra, I am, I do, I have, I can. I am luck. I am progress. I am whole. And I love you guys like crazy. Thank you so much for starting out your week with me and accompanying me on this journey. God bless you all. And I will see you in the Zodiac readings. Bye, guys.